That's one of the beauties of mixed martial arts, isn't it? That really it has debunked a lot of the myths of traditional martial arts. Using them on the street, and you can't use this stuff in mixed martial arts, you know, debunk the myths.
Even worse, it's like kung fu.
Yeah,
like
trapping hands and chi sao, it doesn't work, man. We're not fighting Shaolin wooden dummies that are just hanging there, you know.
Many Wing Chun schools confuse a practice named Chi Sao for sparring. A quick look at it made it clear as to why. Many martial arts practitioners confuse pressure testing with intensity. The formerly mentioned practice definitely has a level of speed and intensity. I would even dare say that these two practitioners in this video example are showing impressive skills. But it is not sparring. The practice is all done in mid-air and thus does not teach a person to deal with someone who is really aiming to hit you. Also, various recorded cases of an MMA fighter sparring a traditional martial artist whose martial art is oftentimes based on a fantasy, showing that against actual fighting pressure or an attempt to actually hurt or injure the practitioner, the fantasy-based martial artist completely loses his composure and is unable to respond effectively at all. This fantasy may even cost someone their life, or at the least, their dignity, when one day they will eventually have to face the truth of being exposed to an experienced actual fighter. As a teen, I wanted to become the ultimate martial artist. I was watching loads of anime and martial arts movies, getting hyped every time the main character surpassed everyone else and beat the bad guys. I was also drawn to Eastern culture, wanting to live out the experience of being an Eastern-inspired warrior. I decided to look for another martial art to complement my Aikido. Soon enough, I figured I found the perfect one. It was Wing Chun. It advertised itself as an offensive martial art, focusing on attacking while constantly stepping forward. I also clearly remember their cool website, which had Chinese traditional music playing, while in the background on a Chinese bridge, two guys in traditional Chinese clothing were hand deflecting each other in a constant loop. I looked at those guys and thought, one day I want to be like one of those guys, effortlessly fighting someone off. As always, my main message is that if you are a martial artist and you believe that your style is effective without proof, question and test yourself.
But it's amazing how many guys still believe it. One of my favorite things to do on YouTube is to check out black dudes in New York who do kung fu, who think it's real. Seems like what they do is like, you know, like a guy will go, okay, well, how about I'm coming at you like this? Oh man, you come at me like this. I got this right here, and I got tiger claw, and I got, you know, monkey fist.
He actually used Wing Chun in the fight with Pettis. He trapped his hand and hit him with an elbow once. I remember watching it going, like, he just used Wing Chun inside the cage. Like, it works. Like, if you really know your... He trapped his hand and then came right over the top with an elbow, and I went, look at that. Because he's always practicing it.
Yeah.
You know, he's always practicing Kung Fu.
One of the most common examples I was sent was that of Tsilala. Qilala is probably the most famous fighter in the world who represents Wing Chun in the ring. His fighting style also speaks of his Wing Chun roots. His stance is narrow, his hands are focused on his center line, he focuses on parrying, and he also seems to favor chaining his strikes together. Since Qilala is based in China and does not appear to speak English, the best source I was able to reach in order to learn more about him was Jerry of Fight Commentary Breakdowns, who broke down a lot of Qilala's fights and is in direct contact with him. My question to Jerry was if Qilala practiced kickboxing or Muay Thai, and if Wing Chun was only an addition to his fighting style. Here's how Jerry responded. Qilala has 3 styles represented. He's got Wang Sheng Lung, Wing Chun primarily. Besides that, he's also got Tongbei Kung Fu from a Sifu named Lao Na. And then he's done a little bit of BJJ because it's a necessity when doing MMA fights. So he's as close to pure Kung Fu as possible. To me, I find that to be rather impressive.
Qilala. He's trying to attach, right? Stick, whatever you call it. He's taking on an MMA guy. So Qilala's, see, this is really good slow motion. Look at this. See that? So he actually totally won that exchange, man. Lots of blocking, right? You don't see a lot of this in gloves, but he makes it work. So I don't want anyone saying, but we can't make Wing Chun work with gloves. The other excuse is Qilala's not doing real Wing Chun, which is kind of true. He's doing maybe 60% Wing Chun and then 30% Si Liu He Quan. So he's got 2 systems of Kung Fu, and inevitably he's picked up something from always testing himself against MMA and kickboxing, Muay Thai, right? So there's probably 10% of his entire striking that he doesn't even want to admit is just picked up from non-Kung Fu systems. But I would still argue 90% of what he does is Kung Fu. But anyways, we missed out on so many amazing trapping range attacks and defenses. Look at this. Like, he's actually almost looking like he's doing functional Chisao, but in gloves. Okay, sometimes he gets a little too fancy. Dude, he kicked him in the face with an inverted kick. You see, yeah, inverted kick, man. Whip kick, sometimes it's called. Look at that. Good job, Qilala. That was my favorite kicking moment right now. So, man, this is awesome. We'll look at viewer Judah. And notice him trapping both of the hands of the boxer. So this is a common frame. They have it in JKD too. So, boxer being very nice to, allowing him to try. Ooh, I like this, right? You just have to test against people that don't fight your system. It's so important. But one of the brilliance of Wing Chun people who are able to make it work is they almost force you to play their game. So I promised to feature him a little bit, so I'll feature him a little bit here.